Class, good day to you all. You are welcome to the program of Exponential Computers, its extension for senior secondary schools in Katsina State. This is lesson 2 for the week 2 SS2 students. I'm the presenter. If you have not forgot, in our previous class, we have discussed about citizenship, who is a citizenship, education, and citizenship education. So this is the second week. We are going to proceed from where we stopped last week. As you look at this chart, I know there are so many things that will come up into your mind, and you may realize so many things. And when you look up about the last explanation or the last lesson that take place, so many things has been discussed. But let us see. Let us proceed and see how the things goes on. Below here are the outline. That's the items that we are going to discuss. The first one, we have duties of a citizen to their states. The second one, obligation of a citizen to their community. The third one, consequences of non-performance of duties and obligations. So those are the outlines that we are going to look this week. First of all, duties of constitutional responsibilities that active citizens carry out in exchange for their rights, freedom, and the privileges they enjoy. There are some duties. When we say duties, class, what do we mean by duties? I know so many things come into your mind as I said what is duties. You know, in your schools, in your respective schools, there is duty prefect, there is duty masters. So from then, you may realize in your mind what is duty. If you said duty refers to the something or that assign an individual to perform. That means, for instance, now if the school management that you are schooling says that today you are the timekeeper of the school, that means it is a duty that school assign for you, and you are expected to make sure that you perform the duty as it is. Yes. Then, so all those duties of a citizens, it has been mentioned in the Constitution. And this Constitution that we are talking about, all the rules and regulations governing the countries, it is there written. So everything in regard to the duties of a citizen, it is there. The rights, freedom, and the privileges. So the first one, duties of a citizens. Number one is obedient to traffic laws and regulation. When it comes to defensive driving, obeying traffic rules, and using common sense are essentials. Traffic rules are in place to help protect you and others while operating a vehicle on the road. What we mean here is that traffic, as you can see from the picture here, you see there is a red light, there is a green light, and in one way we have a peace light. So we have 3 lights. Those lights are help to reduce the congestion on the road, to reduce the high level of accidents that is occurring in the traffic or in junctions, more especially in the cities where they have the vehicles that are coming up from different corners more especially when the workers are trying to reach their destinations. So, obeying traffic regulation is very, very important. It's part of the duties of a citizens to make sure that you obey the law and order, to obey the traffic laws. Because the consequences of not obeying the traffic rules, it may lead to so many things. Firstly, loss of life. It may lead to loss of life because when you are driving and you are not taking care of traffic signs, there is a possibility for you to hit an individual person, animal, or something else that may lead you to injury, or at the end to lose your life, or your passengers to lose their lives. So that is it. The second one, declaration of one income to the lawful agency and the front payment of tax means payment in cash and respects of federal, state, and local foreign income tax and assessment including all interests. What we mean here is that every individual citizens he has his duties here is to make sure that he pay a tax promptly and make sure that this tax that he's paying, he pay it in a right channel, make it in cash, or you deposit the money into the government account. Because this tax you are talking about, this tax is very, very important. All the capital projects and other projects that are being carried out in our community, we are using this uh, taxation that we are collecting. We are using it to what? We are using taxation to make sure that the capital project has been executed in our communities. Construction of roads, provision of medical facilities in our hospitals, provision of electricity, all social amenities. It has been provided by the government, and also it has been provided by the government through the help of what? Through the help of this taxation that we are paying to the government. So, paying of tax is a compulsory payment imposed by a government to the citizens so that government will carry out its works, or it will execute their work effectively. So it's very, very important for a citizen to pay his tax promptly. That's it. The third one, voting during an election. This is a duty incumbent upon citizens to vote in any election for the selection of a qualified leaders of a state. Every qualified citizen, irrespective of his religion affiliation, is expected to vote in the election. So when we said election or voting, it is only a citizen of a country that is allowed to vote and to be voted for. And one among the duties is that every citizen must vote during election. There are some citizens that may realize in their mind that they will not vote because of the unfulfilled promise made by the politicians or something else, something of that nature. So, I want every one of you to realize in his mind that the only way that you can fight politicians who have not done something tangible in your community is through voting. That's the only way that you can take revenge of what politicians are doing in your community. So voting is very, very important, and as a citizen concerned, you have to come out in your massive numbers during election to come out and vote for a credible candidate that will change of your life entirely. The fourth one, respect for national flag. National anthem. The national flag of any nation is a banner by which the nation is known. It articulates information concerning the nation's struggle and the and development. It is therefore a mark of national identity. When we talk about respect for national flag means Nigeria has its own national flag, which is green, white, green. And this green, white, green national flag we are seeing, it defines things. The green is determining what? That's agriculture. And white means peace. So this national flag and national anthem must be respected by all citizens of the country. So whenever you find yourself or you see something like that, so it must be respected. Green, white, green, or the national anthem. In Nigeria, we have two types of national anthem: first stanza and second stanza. And all those national anthem must be respected, as it has been mentioned in the Nigerian Constitution. As you can see here, this is national flag. It contains green, white, green. This green stands for agriculture because Nigeria is a blessed country with abundant natural resources, and those natural resources are being helped in the development of the country. So the natural resources that we have, that's why the flag of the nation is wearing green, because our land is meant for agriculture. And white stand for peace, as everybody knows that in the whole Africa there is no peaceful nation than Nigeria. So that is why we the national flag is wearing green, white, green. The protection of public properties, that is the sixth one, protection of public properties. Public property is a property of every citizen. Every Nigeria has the duty to protect and care for government property. When we talk about government property, many of us have the mentality of making no use of what? Of public properties. When we said public properties, some may realize that this is a government property. So let me do whatever I like to do with it because it is not mine. I'm not the one who buy it with my money. So let me do whatever I like, which is not true. When we talk about public property is for everybody. When you break down your seat that you are sitting in your school, you vandalize government property, and that property is belong to you, it belong to your junior brothers, it belong to your junior sisters. So whenever you vandalize or you damage it, that means your money will be taken and make the repairing or buy another one. So you take your community backward. Instead of that money to be used to do something tangible in your community, at the end it will be end in repairing or having new furnitures in your schools. So that is it. So public properties has to be protected by the citizens. It is part of the duties as it has been mentioned in the Nigerian Constitution. The obligations of a citizen to their communities. Obligations are moral consideration on the part of citizens to perform civic activities for the effective functioning of the country and the benefit of all like duties. Obligations are not imposed by laws, rather they perform according to the dictate of their conscience. And some obligation of some active citizens include helping and exposing crime and the criminal tendencies. When we say helping in exposing crime and criminal tendencies, whenever in your community you have seen something that you have not understand, so make sure that you call the security agencies so that they should come and make an investigation so that the criminal may not have an hideout, so that any criminal and the criminal act will be pushed away. The second one, participation in communal activities and other activities like helping accident victims. This is participation in community activities. Anything that come up in your community, so you have to join hand and put hand together so that you can at least have the way of helping your communities, and it is very very important. So for every community to progress, there must be what? For every community to progress, there must be a united work together so that the community will progress together. The third one, caring for public utilities, which we have already discussed earlier. You have to make sure that public properties has been maintained and utilized the way it's supposed to be used of such facilities. The last one, donating to the cause of less privilege and challenges in the societies. There are so many less privileges in the community, so and the challenges in the societies that are facing. For instance, flooding and less privileged children that are not schooling. So you have to help them, take them to school. When there is a problem in the medical, you have to go there and settle the medical bills for the less privileged in the community. It is part of your duty as a good Nigerian citizen. The consequences of non-performance of duties and obligation: slow progress, loss of life, cause and fighting, inability to achieve societal goals. So thank you for listening. You can now subscribe to our YouTube channel, Exponential Computers, for the recorded lesson. Thank you so much. I'm Abdullah Delhad by name.